Hey YouTube! As you guys can hear from the lovely quality of my voice right now, I'm sick. I've been sick since Sunday night. Yay, I get to spend my last day as a teenager ill, and then tomorrow I'll spend my birthday recovering. But anyway, enough of my complaining. So this weekend I went to DC with my sister, and this was actually my first time in the nation's capital, so that was cool. We went because this weekend was the opening of the National African American, the National Museum of African American History and Culture. Now, we actually didn't go to the museum, but the school that she went to for her bachelor's invited their alumni back to celebrate the opening. But it was just like there are no tickets until December. So yeah, we did not get an opportunity to go there. But, you know, seeing the monuments was awesome. This was one of those times where I wish that my vision was slightly better. Like, I don't have to have 20/20 vision, but just, you know, better vision than I do so I can fully appreciate it. For example, like, the Lincoln Monument, it was great walking up the steps and being in, like, the giant area where his statue is, but there was a rope that blocked it off, so I could not see the statue. I also told you guys in my previous video that my vision has worsened a little, so, you know, that also posed another challenge. But then something else like the MLK Memorial, where I could go up to the wall and, you know, like, see it and touch it. You know, I love those kinds of things. This is also part of the reason why I'm not a huge fan of museums, because I can't touch very many things. And, you know, I'm not allowed to, like, press my nose to the painting. And even if I did, like, it wouldn't be totally clear to me anyway. But anyway, so, you know, the time we spent as a tourist was awesome. But the reason I wanted to make this video is because something happened this weekend that it's going to sound crazy when I say it, and I'll explain what I mean, but it was amazing. Like, people were talking to me as though I was a human being, you know? Now what I mean by that is, so the first night was a cocktail party for the alumni, and my sister and I, you know, we got there, we're dressed fancily in cocktail attire, and, you know, we start making the rounds, as she phrased it, and, you know, a lot of people came up to us, and the thing is, you know, people will talk to my sister about me, but they all just, you know, interacted with me as well. Like, we had on name tags, and so, you know, they'd come up to her and they say, "Hey, Janelle," and she did not put my nickname, she put my first name. So they were like, "Hey," some of them couldn't figure out how to say LaShawn, so she just interject and say, you know, "This is my sister Lily," and some of them were like, you know, "Hey, LaShawn," and, like, again, they spoke to me as though I was an actual human being, you know. There wasn't any awkwardness. I'm sure people were probably staring because of my eyes and stuff, which is nothing new for me, but it was great. Like, the president of the college, my sister was talking to him, and I'm not sure who he was, maybe like an associate or another member of staff at her college, or her former college. But, you know, he came up to me and he like touched my shoulder. He's like, "You know, we're standing in front of the president, so, you know, I'll just stand right here so I can protect you from any terrorist attacks." Now, you know, I can totally see some people watching this, they might not think that that was, like, you know, funny. But, you know, it was entertaining, and it was nice because, again, like, he's speaking to me and joking with me. The next morning we had a breakfast. It was a pretty fancy breakfast. So first, that was awesome, like, experiencing that. It was at, like, a pretty fancy hotel, so that was cool. But, you know, like, a few of the people we'd met the night before, you know, like, touched my shoulder, and they're like, you know, "Hey, how are you doing today? It was great meeting you," in addition to speaking to my sister. And then the wait staff at the cocktail party, you know, I mean, I guess they're just very professional and very accustomed to doing their jobs. So, you know, they all interacted with me. My sister pointed out for the breakfast that my head, you know, was not facing them, so they probably might have double-taked at my eyes, which actually happened on, so we went there Friday night, and we left Sunday night. Saturday morning, we had breakfast at this diner in the area, and the waiter, like, he saw my shirt and he's like, "Oh, cool shirt." I was wearing my Fall Out Boy shirt, American Beauty, American Psycho. And he's like, "Oh, I like your shirt, cool." And then I looked up to thank him, and he spilled water, my sister's water, all over her, her menu. Thankfully, not on her. But people are just very startled by my eyeballs. But again, it wasn't people. If they were startled by my eyes, like, they covered it up a lot better. And again, they just treated me like I was a human who just happened to have a visual impairment, which was amazing. So I just wanted to ramble about that because, again, that was awesome. Like, so many people are so awkward around me. Today I went to the doctor, so I wasn't planning on going to the doctor, but I had 2 exams today, and I emailed my professors last night, like, I wasn't sure if I'd make it to school, and they were like, "Well, you can take a makeup test, but you have to give us medical proof that you were medically ill." And I did not plan on doing that because I get sick around this time every year, and it was like just a waste of time, I felt, going to the doctor and waiting forever just to be told to continue doing what I'm already doing. So I went to my first test, which I definitely failed. I only answered maybe less than half of the questions, and I don't think it was even like full answers either. Like, I felt so out of it today. And I just opted not to take the second test, which was oceanography, which I didn't think I was fully prepared for anyhow, because, so the textbook, there was no accessible format for me, and it was being converted by the accessibility office, and that took them quite some time. And they also misunderstood my professor, so she told them that we'd be only working on chapters 1 through 7, and they thought chapters 1 through 7 for the entire semester, because she told them that we wouldn't be using the entire book, when, in actuality, it was chapters 1 through 7 for this, for this particular test. Now we have to get chapters 6 through 12, and I'm gonna, I don't have those ready. So I was not prepared for this test, and if I couldn't remember all of the answers and such for my early French civilization test, which I actually had more study time for, then I definitely don't think I would have done well on oceanography. So I ended up going to the doctor so I could get my note, and just as suspected, she told me to continue doing what I'm doing because it's just a regular cold. My cough has, like, exacerbated my asthma, or my asthma has exacerbated my cough. Something was exacerbated. I have to stop saying that word. Something was exacerbated, and now my asthma's irritated and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully I'm better. I turn 20 tomorrow, and I'll be sick. Yay. But anyway, so the moral of this video was just, talk to me like I'm a human, because I am. I really appreciate it. I get so excited that I make an entire video about that, because it's just, I don't want to say it's rare, but I feel like for so many people on the street, it's just like, grab me and, "Come on, let me help you across the street." And it's just like, hey, wait, if I was a non-visually impaired old lady, you'd ask her if she needed help, wouldn't? Or most people would, anyway. So, I don't think I should be treated any differently. In school, I noticed that there are a lot of people who, they might be awkward around me, but there are more people who just speak to me. I made a new friend yesterday as I was walking to the bus stop, and I saw her in the elevator today. She's a fellow resident at my dorm, and I was like, she said, "Hi, Lily," and I was like, "Hey," and she told me who she was, and I was like, "Thank you." Not many people do, but I won't get into that because that's the subject of the next video, which I'll also be uploading tonight. So yeah, talk to me like a human. I appreciate it. It's really exciting, especially when I'm at, like, a fancy event. It was really nice. I thought I was going to feel awkward, honestly. My sister would be talking to people, and my phone is ringing. Okay, that's not happened before. Yes, that's my ringtone, Therapy by All Time Low. But yeah, so it was really exciting at a fancy event, and it was cool. And this week has, other than being sick, like, people interact with me, they speak to me. People also jump out of my way. But, that's nothing new. I'm gonna stop rambling now because I'm just basically repeating myself. Alright, have a good night. Stay tuned for the next video, which I'll upload soon.